This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family was popping. It's your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a rough display of basketball that the Knicks just portrayed. I don't know, man. I'm sure every Knicks fan right now feels pretty bad. You see, Tony's almost in tears right now with his head down. You know what I mean? Rough game by the Knicks. Rough game. I mean, and the game started right from the beginning with the Celtics, basically taking control and never ever letting up. You know what I'm saying? They took control of the game right from the beginning. They didn't let up. They extended the lead out to 31. The Knicks tried to make a little bit of a run. I think they cut it to 20. In the second half, it never got below 20. And the Knicks were stomped. Ladies and gentlemen, what can you say? The Celtics 20 for 40 from the 3-point line. We knew that there was going to be a game at some point during the series. The Celtics were going to uh, have it going from the 3-point line. You know what I mean? And you would think if they were going to have it going from the 3-point line, it would be today because this was the desperate game. This was the game where they were desperate. They had to get a win today. You know what I'm saying? If they didn't get a win today, for the most part, they can look and say the series is over. They had to get a win. They got a win, and they shot the ball well. And the Knicks, we didn't. We talked about it last show. The Knicks had to be able to counteract the 3-point shooting that we knew the Celtics were going to display today. And they had nothing at all to counteract that 3-point shooting. The Knicks didn't shoot the ball. They didn't even, the Celtics almost made more threes than we shot. The Celtics made 20. We only shot 25. The Knicks were 5 for 25 from the 3-point line tonight, 40% from the floor, 68% from the free throw line.
That was the point when I said they missed more than we shot in the first game, because it could easily be the other way around.
Right. I don't know. I don't know if is this game I don't know. How do you look at this game, Tony? How do you see it?
I knew for sure they was gonna have a game like this anyway. I just hoped it wasn't this one, the first one at the Garden. You know what I mean? The things I don't like is the things I've been not liking, like slow starts and letting them jump out to leads, whichever way it comes. I thought there were some bright spots in the sense that we got to see Precious and he played some good minutes, and I think he could be utilized in this series. Maybe Tibbs sees that and sees it early. But there were a lot of, like I said, the same things that troubled us throughout the series. Cat getting in foul trouble early, like not being able to be aggressive or not being able to be on the floor. The Mitch Robinson thing, I'm glad he got past that. It looked like, you know what I mean. So it is what it is with that. But even with that, I think Tibbs needs to put him in earlier, if not start him, to neutralize that threat. You know what I mean? If they're gonna use it early, they get in a penalty early, we could benefit from that. You know what I mean? Like when you're waiting so late in the game, it becomes more of a threat. Now, I get the point of building Mitch's confidence and letting him fight through it. It looked like, you know what I mean, he got better as as time went on. But just that's a little coaching strategy that bothered me. Overall, like we were playing with house money, we up 2 games. So I'm not going crazy with the loss. You know what I mean? But next game is again becomes the most important one now.
Right.
You
Really,
know what I mean? Like,
it's really the most important one now because you lose game 4, home court advantage goes back to the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? And the series is tied. That was the importance of today. You know what I'm saying? So, if the Celtics were going to tie this series, they were going to have to win 3 in a row to tie it, right? If the Knicks were to win today, that was the importance of winning today. Um, Obviously, the Knicks didn't do so. They lost. Now it's 2-1. Knicks still lead the series. It's 2-1, but all the Celtics got to do is win one to tie the series, right? Um, and obviously, that's where the concern comes in. Uh, Big Bubba was, we were just talking to Big Bubba just before we got on, and already Big Bubba's like, if we don't win game 4, the series is over. We're going to lose the series. You know what I'm saying? Um, I understand the fear. We're going to get to that a little bit later in the show. I do understand the fear, but uh, I'm not ready to go that far yet.
I
I'm
agree.
not ready to go that far. You know what I mean? We just got to focus on winning game 4 when we get to it. We'll talk about what we need to do to get to that game.
Some another point of things that have been concerning for me is us taking the care of home court advantage. You know what I mean? Like us making that mean something. We
Right.
still have an opportunity to do it next game, but you know what I mean? Like that's been a big concern of mine where we have to make the Garden mean something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And win these home games. So
Yeah.
let's you know what I mean? Let's get the next one. Go ahead.
We we're 1-3 in these playoffs at home. 1-3. We beat Detroit game 1 at home. Uh, we haven't won a home playoff game since then. You know what I mean? We got to get one. I don't want it to have to come down to us getting game 6. You know what I'm saying? We got to get it. We need to get it in game 4. But yeah, right now we're 1-3
Mm-hmm,
uh, in the playoffs at home, and we are undefeated on the road
mm-hmm,
in the playoffs.
mm-hmm.
Undefeated on the road and 1-3 at home. You know what I mean? We can't expect that to last long. You know what I mean? Terrible display. Another thing that concerns me a little. I mean, I know that the Knicks didn't shoot well. I'm becoming concerned that we cannot shoot well against the Celtics.
Mm.
Right, 40% from the field today.
I mean,
93 points. We scored 91 points in the last game. We scored 108 points in the first game. That was in overtime. Right. Um, you know, Obviously, today the Celtics scored 115, the only team to crack 110 points, the only team to crack 109 points in this series. Uh, you know, the Celtics. So I'm becoming concerned that we just aren't going to shoot well against them. It's been 3 games where we have not shot the ball well, and they will shoot well. That's
is
that.
this
That's what I'm scared of.
is there something you see that makes you feel that way? Because I feel like we're missing shots that we make.
Yeah,
Other than tonight a little bit where I felt like um everybody was a little bit hesitant. It felt like tonight
mhm.
where the first 2 games where I you know what I mean, even though we won them, I felt like we played bad. We were missing shots that we normally make
Yeah,
all across the board.
I feel like
Tonight I thought we were a little I don't know, shaky. Something was different tonight,
yeah,
but I
I
think we'll
feel
get
like
out of it.
it's tough for us to get shots. If you look at how many times we penetrate and get in the lane, and we have to dribble right back out or pass the ball back out. Because we're not getting, because they have so much length, we can't get that shot up inside. You know what I mean? I feel like their defense is one of the reasons why we're missing those shots. I feel like we have to work so hard to get the shots that we normally get. Not because they are out hustling us or more aggressive than Detroit, but because of their length and the style of defense that they play, right? Sagging into the lane. They sag into the lane a lot. They have shot blockers. It's almost like a zone their man-to-man defense is like. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's making it tough for us to get shots up. I mean, it's tough for us to get to our spots, a little tougher to get to our spots, which then when we do get into the shooting motion, you know what I'm saying?
It's delayed.
It's delayed getting into the shooting motion, or we're not as comfortable getting into the shooting motion, those things. So I do think in part is due to their defense. You know what I'm saying? We're shooting over, especially today, you know what I'm saying? Like guys were coming almost like Detroit was, hounding the ball. To get a block. You know what I mean? So I am becoming concerned that we're not going to shoot well against them.
It's been 3 games, but I feel like at some point, law of averages, we gonna have a good shooting night. Like that's the way I feel. We gonna figure it out at some point.
I hope so.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I feel like there was definitely a lack of aggression tonight, which was a problem for me. You know what I mean? Like they didn't treat it as a closeout, which I feel like they should have. OG wasn't aggressive tonight offensively. Mikal, he seeked his shot a little bit. It still ain't falling. Brunson's shot wasn't falling. And then Cat, I think his foul trouble just really takes away his aggression, his ability to be aggressive, which I think is our ultimate weapon against this team.
Yeah. Our best shooting night came in game 2. Actually, they shot 43% from the field, but only 29% from 3. Game 1, they shot like 42.5% from the field, but 45% from the 3-point line. And then, of course, tonight, the Knicks didn't shoot well at all across the board. 40% from the field, 25% from the 3-point line. You're definitely not winning games that way unless the team that you're playing against, shoots worse than you. And the Celtics tonight definitely did not shoot worse. The Celtics shot 50% from the 3-point line, 20 for 40 from the 3-point line. They shot 48.2% from the field altogether. You know what I mean? And that's the type of night that I think all of us was dreading, that they were going to have one of these super hot 3-point shooting nights, which they did today, 20 for 40. Do you expect them to shoot? I mean, they shoot 37% normally.
Yeah.
50% is above that 37%.
Yeah, they were super hot tonight. I don't think they, you know what I mean? I don't think that continues overall. I think it averages out overall. I'm less concerned with them honestly than I am with us. I think we got to figure out our offense, and I mean, you're just as concerned, except you don't think we can. I think we can. I think there's a lot of things that we can utilize. It feels like I think Tibbs is doing a great job coaching for the most part, but I think he's coaching defensively. He's coaching against the Celtics instead of implementing things that they have to adjust to. You know what I mean? He's countering every time instead of kind of again, we're not utilizing any type of mismatch. We're not trying to implement anything that, even because everybody's been playing bad, try to implement some easy shots. Try to implement some some things. He does it in timeouts. I think he does a great job, but you got to figure out how to do that throughout the course of the game, or at the very least to start the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Celtics just had more intent tonight. You know what I mean? Like they knew exactly what they were doing from the tip off, who they were attacking with, what their strategy was, who they were going after. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I think we need to. The Knicks need another game. The Knicks got to get hot from the 3-point line. Last two games they shot terribly, right? 25%, 29%, 25% from the 3-point line. If you can shoot well from the 3-point line, you can loosen up that defense that's sagging, because I'm going to tell you, it's very hard to send guys cutting through the lane when they're sagging into the lane, because all right, you cut through, but there's no way to get the ball there. So you can send guys cutting, but it's hard to get the pass through because there's so many guys sagging into the lane. Um, so we gotta find a way to knock down some threes and spread the floor. You know what I'm saying? Make them respect that 3-point line, because the last two games they haven't respected it. You know what I'm saying? And so they can just jam the paint, which
Hmm.
stops us from penetrating to the basket, stops us from cutting to the basket.
Well,
You know what I mean?
well,
Even in the post, you know what I'm saying? You get cats staring down two guys.
I won't say they haven't respected it. I think there's designated people that they don't respect it from
Hmm.
and prefer to shoot. That's one of the plays Precious had tonight, which I thought was so important. Where they obviously wanted him to shoot the three like they do Josh Hart, and he pump fake but attacked the rim, and I think that has to be, you know what I mean, that has to be implemented. But that was a good job by him. I'm pretty sure he scored on the play as well. But yeah, they're doubling team. They're doubling you know what I mean, Brunson. They don't want to leave Cat open from three. You know what I mean. They don't want to leave OG open from three. Mikal usually gets his in motion, but they're probably sagging on him a little bit right now.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's designated who they want to shoot and who they
Yeah.
don't.
Mark, I'm just gonna say Mark. I don't want to butcher your last name. Say try giving Shamit some run to try spacing the floor. He could hit threes. Um, you might try. I hate to say it, but sometimes you might try him. Giving it, maybe giving him or whoever Deuce somebody some of those Josh Hart minutes with the starting group. Maybe, and I'm not saying take away Josh Hart's the amount of minutes he's playing, but maybe you just readjust that lineup a little bit so Deuce is playing with Bridges and Brunson and OG and Cat, right? So because one of the guys that you're saying that they might not respect is Josh Hart, right? They're gonna lay back and dare him to shoot it.
He's the main guy.
He's
He's
the
number one that they want to shoot on the pecking order.
hmm You know what I'm saying? So, maybe, you give somebody else a little bit of burn with that group and stretch that line up a little bit, flex the line up a little bit. You know what I mean?
I mean
Or
that's
and you could use Shamit too, of course.
that's an option. I think there are adjustments to be made. I don't think he makes someone with up in the series, number one. You know what I mean? But he could go that route or the Mitchell Robinson route. You know what I mean? It doesn't stretch the floor with Mitchell Robinson. But again, Mitchell Robinson has played well when he's on the floor. For the most part, he's been guarding on the perimeter great for the most part. You know what I mean? Not going downhill, obviously, but just when he has to switch, he's been good. And I think he's a big threat to them, where they obviously want him off the floor for the most part.
Hmm.
And again, if you utilize that strategy of using him early, they have a decision to make. Let Mitchell Robinson be a threat or get in the bonus early. And then again, now we have to be aggressive.
Right.
But I think that's To me, that's the route I would go. Even though I think we need shooting as well, I
Mm-hmm.
just think we've played well with Mitchell Robinson already. To bring in, I mean, Deuce could work, but Shamit, I don't think that would be the right job. Just because, like, even tonight, granted he didn't play tonight, but if he would have just made that 1-3 he shot tonight in his garbage time, to me that would have meant something.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Nah, I feel you. Sean said Celtics playing defense is easy when Josh Hart is in the game. They don't have to guard him and focus heavily on the other four. In the half court, I agree, right? When you're talking in the half court. Now in transition, Josh Hart is great in transition, and I think when Josh Hart is in the game, you probably. I wish that he was more of a facilitator. I used to argue about this with people all the time when it came to Elfrid Payton, right? People, why does he have the ball in his hands? Why does he have the ball in his hands? And the reason why is because since he couldn't shoot, the way that you could spread the floor is by having the ball in his hands. Because now the defender has to get up on him. Now the other people that can shoot can can make the floor be spread, right? So now you can open up those lanes for cutters, slashers, another ball movement. You he's been a little iffy with the ball in his hands though when he's not attacking. You know what I'm saying?
to,
So, when Josh is in the game, he's great in transition. You know what I'm saying? So you want to maybe play a little faster when he's in the game. And if you can have the ball in his hands some and try to have, some actions going off of, you
to,
know, you know,
Tibbs made that. I think Tibbs made that adjustment tonight, in the first half, but I think he made it too late. Um, and when I say too late, because we started the game like crap, you know what I mean. But I think he put Josh Hart in the action with Brunson a lot tonight, or
mhm,
in the first half, and it was effective. You know what I mean. Hart got a lot of open lanes to the rim. I think we saw it once with Macau where it was a bad pass by Brunson, but I think we have to do that constantly when he's in the game,
yeah,
because that's the only thing that kind of keeps them honest or gets us an open look,
mhm,
or but because I think he can pass, but like you said, it's not he's also sloppy sometimes, you know what I mean, like.
sometimes that's the thing, man. He can be sloppy, and you don't know. You know what I'm saying? He can be on and off. Um,
But you got to do that 1-2, put him in action with Brunson, I think the most,
yeah,
because it makes them make a decision. Most times they're gonna double off of that anyway,
mhm,
just to get the ball out of Brunson's hand,
mhm,
or make the pick that Josh is setting not as effective. And then you got to make, every time Josh Hart has to make some type of action to draw that attention from one way or another, or be open
yeah,
and be ready.
yeah. It's a tough one, man. But the Celtics, they tear it up from the 3-point line tonight. 50% from the field. I'm not sure. How do the Knicks? How are the Knicks going to counteract that? I don't know.
And they went back into that drop coverage
Yeah,
a
they
lot
went back.
more tonight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Caller that's on the line. There's a lot of noise in the background. Yeah, we got to take that one off. There's too much noise in the background. Yeah, they went back into that drop coverage. And I don't know. Was that a test to see if they were going to continue hitting, or to see if they were going to stay off? And so they were like, okay, they're not hitting, so we're going to drop. We'll drop back, and
Honestly,
then, I don't know.
I I don't know. I don't know why you would do it, other than prepping for their whatever their adjustment was, thinking that that's going to be the main thing they adjust to. But I don't know why you would do that, preemptively make a change. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like, wait till they change something that makes it
Yeah.
ineffective, because
Yeah.
that was the most effective thing that I thought helped us. Um, Now we never was switching everything, and I thought that would be the biggest adjustment we should make. we weren't doing it on every action.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I will say it is tough because Brunson in particular is pretty bad when he has to do the switch, and
Right.
he doesn't seem to be sure at what time he's doing it at what time. I think the ultimate goal is always to get him off that dangerous matchup, and then obviously live with it when you have to.
Right.
I think you should live with it when you have to every time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think when he knows he has to switch, he's been pretty good.
Yeah.
It's those times where he's trying to get off that. I want to get off this matchup. I want to. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he puts himself in a dangerous position.
Let me get to Big Bubble. We got Big Bubble on the line. Big Bubble, what's popping, man? You there?
Yes, sir. You know how to be a little dramatic, son. You know,
Yeah,
a little
yeah. We
dramatic.
don't need dramatics
Phone.
right now. We don't need all that dramatics. We just need
We,
you to be on the phone, talk to us. We don't need dramatics.
we just had dramatics, bro.
Exactly. We're going through enough drama right now.
Okay, brother.
This man,
Yeah,
like,
man.
what we doing?
You know, Sam, I talked to you earlier about how I felt about Monday, and you know, Sam, just off the back, man, it was just you kind of felt the energy. It was just more of a what I seen the last 4 games by the Knicks. That it's just the energy wasn't the same. I don't know what the 2 days off did to them.
Hold up. You
I
said
don't
the
know if they
last
were
4 games?
Well, I'm talking about the previous series too with the Pistons.
You haven't seen that
This,
energy. Okay. I got you. Go
yeah,
ahead.
the energy. Yeah, the energy of the last 4 games is just having. I just didn't see it tonight. This gave me, the regular season when the Knicks just, first quarter the game was over. Which I mean, to be fair, it technically kind of was. We just didn't know it yet, but the effort wasn't there. The defense intensity that we seen from the Knicks. And some, also, man, I gotta say this, man. It's MSG is just not home court advantage for the Knicks. It is just not home court advantage for the Knicks. It's terrible. I mean, we're 1-3. We've only won 1 game between 2 playoff series.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So we gotta figure something out with playing at home, because right now it's not looking good for us. 1 game that we won in 2 playoff series. That's insane.
That's insane.
I do agree with you, Tony. Hopefully, the laws of averages will shoot good, but man, it's not looking good, man. And Sim, we talked about this. Me and you talked about this. We said if we win this game, man, I mean, this would pretty much be the dagger. But now we gave them chances. I mean, I'm looking at them smiling. They're happy. They're going out. The energy shifted a little bit. Monday's the most important game.
Yeah.
Point blank. Period.
Yeah, it's the most.
Yeah. I mean,
either way, Monday was going to be the most important game of the season. Either way, win or lose, Monday was going to be the most important game, right? Either we eliminate them or the series is extended. It was going to be the most important game. But now there's way more emphasis on Monday's game, because if they win, Celtics win, they tie the series. If the Knicks win, we go up 3-1 with 1 more win left to eliminate them. Right now, now we're ready to eliminate them. Yeah, but no, that game is for you. I know for you, why is that game this important though? I mean, obviously it's important because you want to go up 3-1, but you have another reason. Don't be afraid to say it now.
No, Sim, I'm gonna say it. I think if the Knicks lose and they tie this series, I think the Knicks will probably lose this series. I really do, because
I don't think you're the only person that feels that way.
Like, I'm just being realistic. I'm not trying to be a negative Knicks fan or anything. Like, I'm being realistic, because to me the energy would completely shift to where the Knicks are like, I don't think we can do this no more. So what I do think the Knicks right now, I still think the Knicks believe they can do this, because they're like, Because, I mean, let's be real. They're not going to say it, but they're like, yo, this team swept us in the regular season, but we just beat their ass playing hard defense, and we beat them with 2-0. Like, they got their confidence back. But now, man, if you lose, I mean, you're talking about a completely energy shift, where it's like, oh man, here we go again. And again, right? Like I was listening to you earlier, I mean, the last 3 games, they've been up. It's never been a thing where they just been playing bad in the second half of basketball. They've been up.
Yeah, we know.
Baby.
We know. They've had a 20-point lead in every game, so that's definitely, that's concerning for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where Big Bubble, but I mean, he lost focus. he just lost focus on us and went someplace else. So I gotta hit him with that. He just lost focus on us. It was what happened. It's like what the Knicks did in this game. He just lost focus. Gone. So I had to hang up on him. Sorry, Big Bubba. Had to hang up on you because you lost focus. You were gone. I don't know where you went.
Hope you're okay.
I don't know where he went. It is gone.
It might have been urgent, son. It might have needed his immediate focus.
Maybe. I hope maybe. I hope everything's okay then. Cat's finger.
Yeah.
So if you watch the telecast, and I put it on Twitter, I put it on Instagram, I put it on YouTube as well. His finger was hurting there in the second quarter, and you can see him mouth to somebody, "I broke it." Right? So it looks like it's possible he has a broken finger. He continued to play the game. I would hate for him to have a broken finger. We need Cat to be as aggressive as possible. He continued to battle it out. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But the Knicks need Cat to be as aggressive as possible. If his finger is broken, how concerned are you? And Karl Anthony Towns tonight for the Knicks, 21 points, 15 rebounds, only shot 27.8% from the field.
If he's
50-point line.
If he is playing through it, my concern lessens dramatically.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, even it's to the point like even if he's not 100%, but he's playing through it. I rather take my chances with that.
Right.
I mean, he's already hasn't been shooting the ball well anyway, for the most part. You know what I mean, or been available to really take advantage of when he is shooting the ball well. I think his overall presence is you probably still rebound whatever you could get from him. I mean, you know what I mean. I think we're gonna need, if he can't play, my concern level becomes through the roof, because I mean, I would assume it does make Mitchell Robinson the starter. Maybe that helps in the sense that they can't utilize. I mean, we'll see what they do with that strategy when they implement it, and his presence helping or not. But now you got to go to Precious more. You know what I mean? Which I'm not against that either. Yeah. But it's a man down. We got to make up for Cat's production, even though it wasn't A1.
Yeah, I think he's going to play regardless. It's a broken finger. It hurts. Right? But I think he's going to play regardless. If it were me, I'm playing. Strap it to another finger or something. It's on his left hand.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm playing. You know what I mean? But it did look like he said, "I broke it." It definitely looked like that. I don't know how much, he'll be. I'm sure he'll be asked about it, and we'll hear, what the deal is with it. I guess I'm not as concerned because it's his shooting hand. I'd be concerned about his ability to dribble left. You know what I'm saying? And if, Al Horford or whoever knows, now if the ball's in his left hand, let me swipe at it.
Listen. Not for nothing. I think they were doing that.
Yeah.
I think they were doing that. I don't know which hand was the hurt hand previously, but that's the way it felt. I also feel like they targeted Josh Hart. The hard fouls they were committing on him, especially after he left the game and kind of came back to fight through it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that was intentional, and not for nothing. We need to implement some of that. Tatum got a sore wrist, right? Let's test that wrist.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Jamrock said, here's my question. Where's the offense that was averaging nearly 30 assists earlier in the season? I don't think it's the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we're going to see that these playoffs. You know what I mean? Yeah, I wouldn't expect to see that. It's just, I mean, the Celtics ain't even averaging. The Celtics had 23 assists tonight. You know what I mean? I wouldn't expect to see the Knicks having, getting those 30 assists. It's a different beast. The grabbing, the refs let more go, all that kind of stuff. It's a total different animal when we're talking about the playoffs. Man, let me get to another phone call real quick. Caller, you're live. Name me where you're from, please.
It's me, Big Bubba Light. I mean, my bad. It's Ron from Still Knicks Fans.
My man, Ron, what's popping with you, bro? I got to make sure I save this number in so I know it's you. I don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah. What's going on, man? I know you're hurting. I'm hurting. We all hurting.
Yeah, man. I'm just, the funny thing is, everything that I thought about right up until the game started happened. And so I'm disappointed that it happened that way. I'm just more concerned about the Knicks and how they combat what Boston can do and the refs going forward.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking to myself, man, they're up 2-0. If you look at all the playoff series that are going on right now, the most exciting series is the Knicks and Boston.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, Denver and OKC might start to get, it's getting better. But I think the Knicks and Boston series is really exciting. You got huge star power, big market money for the players. And I just think that the NBA wants that series to continue. So I was like, you know what? The refs are going to get Boston's going to get a lot of calls today.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, if Boston comes out shooting, this could be tough. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Now, what I didn't account for is the Knicks having a third game struggling. And really, when you think about it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's almost like the Knicks have been struggling offensively for 7 games.
Mm.
The only game that I thought they did well offensively was the first game in the Detroit series. Some people might say you give them credit for the 6th game. I don't know about that. It was good, but the numbers looked a lot better than that first game. They've been struggling to find their offense and get into their proper sets. To J-Rock, I think it was Jamrock or J-Rock's question.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about that too. And the Knicks offense, granted, they can, when they're high octane and they're shooting well, they can get 30 assists. But that offense has changed a lot from the first 2 months of the season.
That's true.
They've kind of simplified it and made it a little bit easier for other people to get involved in it and not relying so much on the outside shooting. And now that's when they became a better inside the lines team. They became a better paint team.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what's going on. I will tell you that I feel like Thibodeau has to figure out better ways to get his complementary pieces involved. He's got to figure out better ways to use McCall and OG.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the OG only having, not having any points for that long of a span is criminal. And it's not like I mean, I'm not saying he was on, but at the time that he scored his first bucket, he was 1 of 5 from the field. So that's not even him missing. That's him not even being involved.
Only bucket.
Like, they got to figure out a better way, man.
Yeah, only bucket. OJ had 2 points. 1 for 6.
That was his only bucket? Oh, my God.
He was 1 for 6.
That's even worse.
1 for 6. No, and OG's one of the guys that has the strength and the length, to penetrate and jump over top of, Boston. You know what I'm saying? They have length, but he has length on the offensive side to counteract it, and we
Mhm.
got to utilize it.
That's
No doubt, got to utilize it. You know,
especially if Tatum's on you,
right?
because again, you got to make Tatum and Brown work. You
Yeah,
got to make them work. If you
yeah,
let them play team defense, help defense, they at their best.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and not to take anything away from what Big Bubba was saying, because I do agree that there might be some truth to the fact that if the Knicks lose on Monday, I would be quite worried. I ain't gonna lie, I'd be a little worried because I just feel like the momentum is shifted and
Hmm.
Boston is too good of a team. Like it's even Steven. So
Yeah,
I don't really
I
like
feel you.
how that plays out, especially the Knicks aren't winning at home, because that's another thing. If they
Yeah,
lose on Monday, that means another game they can't win at home. I don't like
right.
that either.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. So,
Uh,
so
um,
right now, are you worried?
no, not now. I'm not worried right now because I think they can come out on Monday and win the game and put the pressure back
Okay.
on Boston. The only thing I'm concerned about is not worried so much about the players. I'm more concerned about Thibodeau and his adjustment that he can make between now and Monday as to how to get the offense going.
Mm,
I actually, I know we've talked about it, and I know it's not the best scenario that you'd like to see in the playoffs and how things get simplified with the rotations. But honestly, when the Knicks were forced to play the bench today after it was a blowout and was 3 minutes left,
hmm.
I was actually kind of hoping that maybe just seeing some of the dudes on the court might make Tibbs say, okay, well, maybe I could sprinkle one or two of these guys in the mix. Just
You
I was
already
like,
know,
well,
Ron.
maybe I could
Tip,
sprinkle a couple of these.
Precious was the only guy that showed anything like I want to play in this series.
Yeah,
He's the only guy that played tonight that hasn't played before. That it looked like I want to play in this series.
yeah,
I've been waiting for this opportunity.
yeah.
You
But,
know what I mean?
mind you, Tony, Precious already had a little taste. He played like 6 minutes a couple days ago,
Yeah,
so at least he already got his feet wet. These other guys like Shamit,
Shamit,
hasn't had a cup of
right?
coffee.
yeah.
And Wright
Let
didn't
me
have
ask you
Wright
guys.
hasn't played anything.
Yeah,
So
let me ask you guys this. Just about being worried. Then we'll quickly go to Game 4. Um, this is from Jalen Brunson. He said, "I don't think we came with the mindset of being satisfied, but I think it was just subconsciously satisfied being up 2-0. Just not the way we need to approach the game."
I agree.
How do you feel about that?
How do I feel about? I think it was evident. It was evident. I was gonna say something very similar. That
And but
that
we talked about that maybe in the Losers Lounge about, you know, yeah, consciously they know, but subconsciously it's something that's hard to
my
control.
my what I was gonna say is they played like they dodged a bullet in Boston, and not like, oh, we should have beat them those games. You
Right.
know what I mean? Where again, we talk, like you said, we talked about it. You cannot keep playing this comeback game.
Can't do it.
The odds are not in your favor, even though you did it twice in a row. The odds are not in your favor to go on these 22 runs, 21 runs, whatever. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
continuously.
Yeah. Ron, what do you think about it? Does that concern
yeah,
you?
I mean,
It shouldn't be concerning if it's recognized. Pardon me.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
right?
sense.
Yeah, I think that's good that Brunson can recognize that maybe that's how they were feeling subconsciously. But the good thing about it, and I don't know how you guys felt about it, and I didn't feel that the Knicks lacked effort today. I felt like the Knicks brought the intensity. I felt like they were strong on defense. I felt like Boston was just so locked in. They were a lot more composed. They were smarter about the shots they were taking. they were, as someone was saying during the game, I don't know if it was Jefferson or whoever, they took their time to set up their shots. They weren't just letting it fly without, no, causation. Causation. I don't even know how that came out. But anyway, you know what I mean? Like they took a minute before they made their shots. They squared up, they lined up, it just made more sense that they were knocking them down. But I think the Knicks played good defense, and I think the swarming defense they were playing at times was effective. The issue was Boston was shooting well. They were taking their time. They were waiting for the rotation. And when the double team came, they moved the ball quickly. Like, you can only run around the court so much before somebody's going to be open. Yeah. And it just so happened that every open guy was knocking down their shots. So I don't fault the Knicks for the effort. I think they came out with good effort. I think their defense, for the most part, was good. I just think that, honestly, they need to make a bigger deal about the offense. I think the offense is a little messed up right now, and Tibbs has to figure out something to fix the offense, because really, like you're talking about, and this is why I say it, because it's not like this is just happening against Boston, a really good defense. This was happening against a physical defense in Detroit. Like, the Knicks offense has been sputtering for games now. They got to figure out something different to, one, get guys more involved, two, get the ball moving around, pass the ball around, run some sets, different things to get guys back cut, screens, easy shots that I always talk about. Tibbs needs to open something up, try something out. You're not going to lose by running plays if they're good plays. Like, there's no downside to it.
Right.
So I think that is important for them to get back to that, because the offense is just, they're not going to win. I don't care what Boston does. I don't care how good the Knicks defense is. Boston is still, they figure out a way to get their offense going at times. If the Knicks can't get their offense going, they're going to lose no matter what.
Right. Jamrock, thank you for the super chat. He said, Sim, in the 4 seasons that Tibbs took us to the playoffs, we averaged 37 baskets a game and shot 43% overall. So we're right on average for the playoffs. And then Beat Baller, I want to ask you guys about this, and then quickly go to your thoughts about Game 4, and then I'm hang this up. B-Baller for Real says, the only anomaly this entire season was the Celtics' horrific play the previous 2 games. That should be the most concerning thing. And he's actually right. Right? That's the only anomaly when we look at this series. The only outliers from what's happened so far are those 2 games. I guess you can say the last game of the season, the Knicks, played a tight game and win in overtime. But all the other games we lost by double digits, and we lost big to them. Is that concerning?
I honestly, I thought this was the last game. This was the first game we regressed. You know what I mean? I thought we actually played better. Honestly, the last game of the season was probably our best game against them, considering we had the lead and flounder it. And again, that was probably on a bad coach's decision not to foul to even go into overtime. So that would probably be our best game. But I don't think we played. I thought we played hard enough and good enough to win the last 2 ones. Obviously, tonight, not so much. This was more similar to the first 2 games, especially in the way they shot the ball.
Right. Yeah.
But even the first game, we shot the ball well. It was the first game. It wasn't about our shooting. It wasn't about our offense. It was about them having 20 more shot attempts than us, 30 more 3-point shot attempts than us in the game.
Hit like 28 threes in that first game.
Yeah. I mean, if this felt a lot like those games, those early games, on Diaz said Karl Anthony Towns downplays the hand injury after the Knicks Game 3 loss, and he says it is what it is. And all right, that's it. You know what I mean? Real quick before I head up out of here, just real quick in a minute, Tony, what do we got to do to win Game 4?
I mean, number one, play with some sense of urgency. Play like you believe you could beat this team, and it has to be a quick start. Like, we've been playing from behind all series long. Like, let's play with the lead. You know what I mean? Like, collective effort, team effort. I mean, that's the good part. Is like, honestly, I know you said it's their defense. I think we're not shooting the ball well, and that we're missing shots that we can make. We make now, part of it is rushing it, you know what I mean, or hesitating, and then by the time you do shoot, the defense is in a better position. So it's part of it is that and the defense, but I think we figured that out.
Yeah, we can. I mean, we can. I just think it is tough with their length. I mean, you see Mikal Bridges twice, because he's in the air and someone's contesting, second guess the shot and want to pass it off. I think, their length really does bother the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? We get inside, we penetrate, we get inside, and we're hesitant to go up because Al Horford's in there or KP is in there. Brown and Tatum sagging into the paint. I think it.
But did you see? I didn't see that hesitation in the first two games. I seen us miss shots. Like tonight is where I seen guys second guess and question.
I mean, I didn't see that hesitation, but I saw us get into the paint and can't get the shot up in the paint and have to dribble it back out or kick it back out. You know what I'm saying? I've been seeing that the entire 3 games because it's just so crowded in there. It's hard to get that shot up.
And we're not getting a lot of foul calls.
And we're not.
I ain't gonna say the refs wanted us to lose, but it felt like they wanted us to come back from 20.
I feel like they wanted us to lose. I feel like the NBA Adam Silver put in a call. Hey, Ron, go ahead real quick.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that I think that like I said, Tibbs needs to figure out better ways to get guys open, get guys the ball, move the ball around, maybe institute something you learn in your fundamentals, maybe 2 or 3 passes before we take a shot. Yeah. Something to get movement going, right? But the flip side of that too is like you try it out, like because they got to stop starting slow. The Knicks have been playing great, not great. Well, maybe they've been playing really great in the fourth quarters, but okay in the third quarters, which is a big stride upwards from what they were doing in before. Yeah. But they got to start off better in the first quarter of games and stop playing from behind, like Tony said, and get something going. But like I said, I would try to get them to move the ball a little bit early, right? But after that, if it don't look like it's working, I know fans all of a sudden they've adapted this narrative. Oh, we don't play well, or we lose when Brunson's playing ISO ball. Let me tell you something. If they don't get it going early, like in the first 5 minutes of the game, 6 minutes of the game, and there's no movement, guys ain't hitting shots, Brunson better take the reins and do what he got to do.
Yeah.
Because he's the only one that when he gets it going, he can score. I mean, no offense to Cat. Cat can do his thing too, but Brunson can get hot and take over the game. And sometimes you need that. And it looks like the Knicks need it because their offense is looking bad the last how many games?
No doubt. Parrish Duggar, thank you for the super chat. He said, facts. Knicks always struggle first game back from a trip. We can't afford to play with a read and react offense. Brunson has to be greedy from the jump. So, but listen, guys.
Go ahead, I'm sorry, Sim. I just want to say one quick thing. People who was clamoring and saying about ISO ball Brunson, if he does that this game, we were going to lose. Well, he didn't come out that way. He came out looking for everybody else and not jacking up shots, not forcing it. And we still got blown out. So, It
is, right. Ladies and gentlemen, I hate that to cut it short, but I got a decent word by 8. I'm going to get up out of here. Maybe I'll catch you tomorrow, to do some more talking about this game. Definitely be on the post-game show. Probably game preview and post-game show on Monday. Queen's going to be on Monday too. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your time. We're up out of here. Peace.
Later, y'all.
This is NBK. Nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place to tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.